All right, this is your thing. Favorite thing about pro wrestling? What made you a pro wrestling fan? All right, go ahead. You can go first, Mr. Raccoon. You
Not
have
even specifically what made you a pro wrestling fan, but just what like is the thing that like pops you still like you still love. For me, it's tag teams that are like thematic that make sense and work as a tag team. Like I don't mean like Rock and Sock was cool, but that's not what I mean. Like it was just
yeah,
two thrown together singles with good charisma. I'm talking like guys like the Usos, the Steiners, the Blade Runners.
Heart
Um,
Foundation.
yeah, like it's I love thematic tag teams. That the Young Bucks. I mean, AEW has had quite a few of them.
Hmm. I I I like it because I like sports, and I like sports a lot. I've been a sports fan my whole life, and there's moments in sports that are just great moments in life. Example: Derek Jeter retiring in Boston. If you're a baseball fan, that gives you goosebumps. Jordan making a last second shot. Otani, what he's doing in the league right now. Like there are times where you're like, oh my god, this is a special moment. This will be remembered forever. Doug Flutie's Hail Mary. Um, in pro wrestling, it's like a video game. If you do it right, you can have those moments all the time. And
Double clothesline.
double clothesline. And to me, you know, I think people stop being a pro wrestling fan at a certain point, and there has to be something to save you. Example: when I was a teenager and be like, all right, girls have boobies, I better check that out. ECW came around, and I was like, ladies, look out! ECW, ECW. When Raw was dominating and it was stale as fuck, and it felt like the MCU Phase 4, or is it Phase 5? It doesn't matter. They're both not good. Um, it started feeling like just like Secret Invasion felt like work, Raw felt like work, and then Lucha Underground came along, and you're like, oh my
Oh
god, it
man.
keeps me going. And New Japan, its ups and downs has kept me going. Noah at times has kept me going. Dragon Gate, and it's just like you sit there and you lose yourself because that's the thing. Sports is the greatest escapism that money can buy. I think it's better than Hollywood, in my opinion. Um, and in wrestling, you can combine Hollywood and that. And when it's done right, it's absolutely perfect. And when the people behind the scenes, Triple H, Tony Khan, Paul Heyman, and they really care and love the product, you can make something magical. And it's just about two athletes. Effort really matters to me. I love when two wrestlers go all out. And because to me, when two wrestlers go all out, like a lot of the wrestlers in the A block and the G1, not the C or D or B, but if you just got two wrestlers going all out and you forget where you are, it's just that moment, it's real. It's not like they worked you, brother. No, 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 no. You are, it's like a good magic show. It's like a good theater show. At that moment, you are there. It's escapism at the highest level. And if the athletes can do something I can't do, if the athletes go at an effort where, because my thing that I love about pro wrestling is when two athletes work so hard and try so hard that no matter how skeptical you are, it's real to you for that second. Now, when it fucking sucks, it sucks bad. And a good 5-star match is like a drug. When you see it, you're like, I want more. And then when someone comes in and they start mailing it in, you're like, I don't need this weak shit. Give me the good stuff. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So, escapism, the moments of sports, and just two athletes, predetermined, not predetermined, going 120% making it happen. That is what I love. That's what I'll always love. And the problem with my style of wrestling is that it's hard to do. And that's why a lot of people are like, oh, you don't like pro wrestling. You didn't like two fucking fat old legends doing an armbar. It's like, no, I want to see the Will Ospreays. I want to see the Kenny Omegas. I want to see these gladiators bigger than fucking life just go out there and put on the best goddamn performance they can. That's me. That's what I love about pro wrestling. Sid, is there anything else you'd like to add?
On the topic of moments, I have a tangent for you.
Okay,
Well,
go
two.
for it.
What is your oldest moment of pro wrestling you remember? Like the
Ooh.
first one, the first thing you remember.
I don't know the order, so I'm just gonna throw a couple out there if you don't mind.
Okay.
One of them's kind of not a moment, but my earliest memory was people in New Jersey, even though they didn't work them, they're just like, oh, it's a sport. You know, you talked about wrestling the same way you talked about the Yankees. I just remember that. Andre the Giant being slammed and lost, I was fucking beyond pissed. I was probably the only kid that's like, oh, this is stupid. That's when I found out pro wrestling was fake. Sting, Ric Flair, free on Clash of the Champions was like my Ready to Rumble moment. I'm like, this isn't even pay-per-view. Oh, I don't know. My first moment. Because, like, here's the thing. It's like your first baseball moment, your first football moment. When I grew up in New Jersey, it was there. I remember Ric Flair. I remember Hard Times, Dusty Rhodes. I remember the Road Warriors. I don't know what my first moment was. But
I remember mine.
wow, what was your first moment?
It was Papa Shango
Nice.
grabbing Ultimate Warrior's armband and cursing him. Because it wasn't the first thing I had ever seen, but it was the first thing that stuck with me, that I remembered, because I was just so into Ultimate Warrior, and then he started getting sick because he got cursed by this damn guy, this damn witch doctor.
Yeah. That's amazing. Yes, I don't remember my first moment. I do remember my first moment. I don't know if it's like, 'cause the thing is, it all becomes a blur. I do remember thinking Ric Flair was the good guy. I did not realize Ric Flair was the bad guy in the Dusty Ric Flair feud until I was a man.
Wow.
I didn't, because like the thing is, I grew up poor. I didn't have fucking parents. And he's like, you can wear, you know what I mean? You can wear this suit. You can be the best in the world.
You were a poor kid that got seduced by the riches.
I did. And the thing is, too, like when I became a TV reporter, I'm not now because I curse and have concussions and short-term memory. But for a short period of time before concussions caught up with me, I was a television radio guy. And I used to get free clothes. And I still remember this today. I always chose Armani, not because I was fashionable, because that's what Ric Flair wore. But yeah, I saw Dusty, and he's like, I'm the American dream. I'm just a working man. And I'm like, I see that all around me. Who gives a fuck? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and then here comes Ric Flair, limo
Dusty.
driving. I did not know Ric Flair was the villain in that storyline until I was a man. And then I look back and like, oh yeah, Dusty was right. Dusty was right.
Disgusting.
So, the same thing with Bam Bam Bigelow. Rest in peace. I had a little tear. I'm glad his family got to speak on the documentary, Dark Side of the Ring. In New Jersey, we were very loyal, and it was like a dream. Like, Kevin Smith will always have a special spot in my heart. Because in New Jersey, we deemed ourselves losers, and then we praised anyone that would leave and make something happen. And I just remember growing up, King Kong Bundy and Bam Bam Bigelow were, no matter what they did, they were always good guys. It's like, Bam Bam Bigelow is torturing our hero. And you're like, yeah, Jersey style, dirty Jersey, make it happen. Like, I remember hanging out with a bunch of fucking young kids, and we rooted for King Kong Bundy to beat the shit out of Hulk Hogan. Maybe we were just fucking criminals. Maybe that's the problem.
Maybe you guys were degenerates.
We're like, King Kong Bundy,
go ahead.
his ass.
Kick his ass. Kick his ass. What is he, a preacher? Screw the preacher.
That's you guys. You guys are monsters.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's just the way it is. It's the way it is. But though Rick Rude did get heel heat, because he'd always be like, "You filthy, disgusting people from Atlantic City." Be like, "Who the fuck does this guy think he is?" So at least Rick Rude got heel heat. King Kong
You're all
Bundy's like,
dirty
"I'm
bum."
a bad guy." I'm like, "That's our boy, King Kong Bundy." Go ahead, sir.
No, I was just saying the father of Bobby Roode.
Oh, yes. But yeah, the problem is it's hard to be a wrestling fan forever because stuff gets recycled, and it's either you become a 5-star chaser and you look for what you want and you're like, "This is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want," or you just like everything. And if you like everything, I don't know what that would be like.
I like parts of everything.
Yeah, I mean, you even like, what's his name?
Gucci.
Taguchi. Taguchi did have good Super Juniors.
I told you.